here we are. We're in.
Do this.
All right. Hey, internet. Welcome back to Lines and the Lies. This is a D&D Doing It Live, the Vecna one. I'm Dat Magic Juice. I'm your GM host and cat wrangler for the day.
Hey now, I take
Hey,
offense to
what the
that.
hell?
Hey now,
We are
Use
gonna
that
go
3 weeks in a row.
We're gonna go around the table, introduce ourselves and our characters, recap what happened last time, and then attempt to move forward. This is gonna be a doozy. Ash is unwell today, so Pumpkin will be piloted by who?
I don't think we decided.
I can do
Probably-
it.
Andrea? Okay.
Yeah.
There may not. Well, that's a spoiler. So we're starting with Andrea.
Hi, I'm Andrea. Also on the internet as Glassy Woodtone. I will be playing Alaska Jane. She is a dwarf paladin, oath of the ancients. And she's the opposite of Indiana Jones. And she's just gonna be chill about whatever happens today. The end. Next is Logan.
Yeah, hi guys, I'm Logan. I go by Nerdwardo on the internet. I'm playing Kazan Kabar, the anarcho-socialist, clockwork soul sorcerer. Who, and I am shitting myself over what is about to happen. Next up we got Sam.
Hi, I'm Sam. I play Bost, the Tabaxi Eldritch Fighter Bard. And I have been gone for a couple days, and Bost has kept herself quiet.
Whoa.
Oh boy.
Oh golly. Hi, I'm Vic. I'm not on the internet most of the time. But I am playing Odyssea, who is a Shatterkai knowledge domain cleric, legend lore, bard, library nerd, etc.
All right. So last time, it seems like every damn episode is a doozy. Last time we ended up figuring out that we were in the Shadowfell in a seemingly random crypt in the mausoleum, actually. And we had to escape coffins, which was ominous and freaky and cool. And kind of learned a little bit about the mausoleum we were in. There was a friendly ghost that essentially pointed us to concern she had. It was her duty, even in death, to basically keep this mausoleum keep it clean, essentially. And she told us that the sisters and mother no longer rested as they should. So we find a few monstrosities, put them to actual rest, get some treasure along the way, and discover that essentially possibly part of the cause for their dismay and state in that mausoleum was a crevice of dusk, basically one end of which was in the mother's coffin. But we recognize it as a crevice of dusk. We recognize it as a way to get back to where we came from. A, the material plane, and B, Neverwinter specifically. However, during all of this going around this dungeon, a few of you heard periodically bouts of chanting. And I believe it was Odyssea that could only understand a few words at a time, specifically in Celestial. And when you go through this crevice of dusk intending to come home, you are instead sort of shunted into the space you're in now, where we see these three, for a lot of you, highly recognizable wizards, who seem completely exhausted, exasperated, and we basically ended it with them, with one of the women saying, "What did we just do?" And that's where we are. Is there anything that you guys want to add or that I missed?
We know that the twink didn't come with us.
Yes,
Yeah,
Eldon
he's so-
is no longer with you.
Yes, and we don't
He
know where
did.
went.
Just kidding.
No.
Hopefully not. That would really suck.
Yeah. All right.
We tried so hard to keep him safe.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's some landscape to sort of just level here before I say go, because it sounds like there are some intentions on the table. The space around you. Oh, I need another tab. I have so many tabs open, guys. It's insane. Here we are. The space you're in has this like huge, the long structure on the right. That's like a huge desk in the middle. It's just riddled with papers and books, inkwells and pens. Nearby are curio cabinets filled with all sorts of trinkets, everything from necklaces and brooches to like sparkling stones and shoes. The entire space around you is this like kind of almost crystal structure, and it, aside from like the disheveled nature of the desks, it's like the most pristine, beautiful physical space you've ever seen. Columns going up and down all over the walls decorating the space. There's like stained glass depictions of probably recognizable events in history, as well as people that you probably wouldn't recognize other than maybe a self-image of one of these three. Long and short, it's this like incredibly beautiful space. Probably would take even the most sophisticated of you aback for a minute. And then you have these three. So there's the space you're in. Have at it. What would you like to do?
So Boss is gonna walk forward to, excuse me, this woman. Gosh, darn it.
Oh, I still have control over.
Oh, I
over
was
your
like, do I have control over Boss? Right
Oh,
now?
did I switch it? I shouldn't have taken it away. You should still have control.
There we go.
There we
Boss
go.
is gonna walk over to this woman and say, "Oh, thank goodness. Okay, Tasha, dear. Are we in Theroon right now?"
He's so pretty.
She's very pretty. She's got book face on her.
Talking to Tasha.
She got a big hat.
She got a big hat.
Yeah, so that's exactly her look. I'm not even gonna bother trying to describe it because the picture is perfect. She's gonna like stand up with a clearly belabored physical effort and just kind of look at you and tilt her head and squint and go, I'm well aware that I'm known, but have we met?
Darling, you've had dinner in my home.
Of course.
Bostet Campbell, Nathan Campbell.
We have so much to figure out right now. But I must tell you,
Are we in Theroon in the year 1492?
Over here.
Pharaoh, no, the year, yes.
Are you fucking kidding me right now? And she turns around.
Uh-oh, let's go.
Here we go.
The minute we set foot back on Theroon, Pumpkin and I are gone. We are leaving. This adventure was supposed to be easy. 2 days, a week, max. We were going to find some lost people. We were going to get them back to their families. It was going to be easy money. I was going to go home, have some money. It was going to be fine. You, Odysseia, you were the one with the fucking plan. You got Pumpkin involved. You got the rest of us involved. This is on you. I have kept quiet while you have scattered us across some fucking alternate planes. And now we are still gone. So somebody get me back to my fucking kids so I can get away from you fucking people. I don't know you. I don't care about you. I wanted some fucking money. And I wanted to go home.
So
Pardon
you
the
really aren't
outburst.
that much of an
Hush!
adventurer that you said you were. Interesting.
So that first hush was an intimidation.
Ooh.
Okay.
So
At
That'll-
all of us or a specific person or
Whoever interrupted me.
Because you're mad at
okay,
me.
so Sam, that's going to be an intimidation check. How do I determine a player versus player DC for this?
I don't know.
That's a
I
great
forget.
question.
Yeah.
Fucking charisma save. Maybe.
I'm gonna go with a charisma
Charisma
save,
saving.
yeah, or charisma
So-
check. Charisma check. It should be a check
So-
against a check.
Okay. I was like, because if it's a save, you're all within 10 feet of me, and I'll give +3 to that save.
Oh no.
So 19 and a check or a save? I'm sorry.
Check.
Okay, so I just roll my charisma.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
14.
Okay. Odysseia, you may react as you would. Mechanically the intimidate is successful, so she's officially freaked you out here.
Yeah. That makes sense. And she's just gonna go, okay. It's good to know you're not an adventurer. I won't ask
I
again.
said hush. And this time, I'm casting command.
Oh.
Us has gone full mom mode.
Oh
And
boy.
actually, she's going to say, hush,
She's fucking-
the adults are going to talk now.
Oh, counter. If I could counterspell that, I would, but I can't.
So-
Let me see what Odysseia rolls. Oh fuck, no, that's not how Silverware Barbs work. God damn it!
Yep.
No.
So
It
I
was
mean,
aggressive.
it's a pretty easy one.
So it's a
because-
wisdom saving throw for me.
Mhm.
Yeah,
A
and it's just
14.
a 14.
Oh, cool. We just got no number.
So, yeah.
Oh, there
Well,
we
I
go.
got
You're
a
gonna-
26.
But you know
Mhm.
that you
she tried.
know that this is what I am trying.
Yeah, I'm aware. I think if you do that, Odysseia is going to pull her. Because again, how tall is Bast?
Not
She's
very.
tiny.
Yeah.
Okay, Odysseia is gonna pull her whole like 6'6" self up and be like, "You do not get to have a temper tantrum in the middle of an adventure when we are trying all to figure out where the fuck we are. Consider that maybe none of us are interested in being here. Consider that maybe you screaming at the people who took us out of the Shadowfell is not helping.
I am not
maybe
screaming
Alaska
at
is
them.
physically
an
getting herself in
adult.
between them.
I am not screaming at them, young lady. I am screaming at you.
Yeah, you're all the
like
same
a
age.
child.
You,
Congratulations.
you are the one who got us into this fucking mess to begin with.
Sweetheart, it's been
You
2 whole
are
days.
the
An
one-
adventurer if she wanted to go on an adventure. Which is interesting that you said you were one when you are clearly not.
If I may.
Oh.
The wow, the way this is gonna sound comes across so wrong.
Do it.
I was gonna say the man speaks up.
Oh no!
Wow.
That's not the message I'm trying
And
to
then we
portray.
murder him to death.
No.
Dies,
I'm just
and
gonna
then
say
he dies.
Mordenkainen is gonna interject. He's gonna say, if I may, I understand that there's plenty of conflict here that I don't understand, but just to make sure that your frustrations are aimed appropriately, I believe this last part was us, and he gestures to the three of them. I think
Yes.
we messed up.
What were you
I
trying
think
to do?
that's quite obvious. What were you trying to do?
Perhaps we get to that once you friends figure out what you need to figure
No,
out.
I would actually time out. Hi, greetings, salutations. Hi, I'm Alaska Jane. I feel like whatever context you can provide might kind of help the situation. Also, maybe some food. We have had a long day. We have been in multiple places that, frankly, all of us, have not expected to be in all of these places today. It's been a day. So if we could get like a couch or something a little bit chiller, a nicer, happier atmosphere, and then maybe we can have a discussion as adults. She looks at everybody as adults. Thank you.
Okay,
Again,
so
Alaska Jane.
the woman you know as Tasha will just kind of like flick her wrist, and a series of chairs will just slide over behind each of you.
Thank you.
And at the same time, the other woman, let's actually have everybody do a history check.
Hell yeah.
Also, as this is happening, Alaska is pulling her other bag of wine out and just handing it to Boss.
Nice.
I don't know your life, but here is a wine. It's nice.
While you're doing these checks, the other woman is going to make a similar motion, and basically a table will just pop up in front of you guys with like this unfurling of a simple but nice tablecloth, and it's just got this, it's stacked, piled with food, and it will be somehow for each of you like all of your favorite foods, like anything you could crave in this moment or have a yearning for is on this table. Okay, so we have a 16, a 9, a 22, a 7.
Do you want a pumpkin one too?
We should get a pumpkin
one. Is that gonna roll it for me? Hell yeah!
Nice.
Hell yeah.
We're back, baby.
Okay, Alaska, Bost, and Odysseia, you would recognize this woman as Illustrial Silverhand.
How do you spell that?
I will. It is. No, I won't. Here it is. Alustriel.
It was so close.
I was way off.
Okay, cool.
Oh, this is so beautifully perfect. Okay. You know that she is a very famous and almost entirely beloved witch in like across Faerun. And that she served as the High Mage of Silvery Moon for some time until fairly recently. I don't exactly have when that ended, but she is no longer the High Mage of Silvery Moon. She like retired from that to move on to other things. And Logan, are you thinking what I'm thinking about the fact that you specifically failed this check?
Yeah.
Ooh, this is so much fun. Okay.
This is perfect.
Pumpkin also does not really know. Pumpkin and Kazan like probably have heard this name, but really not much about her. Yeah. I don't think any of you have met her. Thinking about all your backstories, yeah. Then just to get the rest of this out of the way, actually, I would like another history check. I'm going to do one for each of these three.
Sure.
Boss, you kind of have a pseudo pass on Tasha because of background stuff we talked about. So it'll be slightly different.
Yeah, seriously. 22.
Okay, the new
I'm
ones...
hot on my histories.
So it's a 6, 17, 11, 21. Am I missing one?
I've got a 22.
way at the top.
Oh, there. Wait, I thought
That
that
was
was
your
the
last
first one.
roll.
Oh,
New history
Oh,
check.
but you already know
it again.
If we're talking about Tasha, you already know who Tasha is.
Right,
Oh,
but I
yeah.
would still like a history check for you for like some details. Another
Same
22.
Great.
number,
Another
yeah.
22.
It's 22.
Nice.
It's
Okay.
been stated.
The dice
Since failed the
insist.
last two, I think she's probably focused on Bast.
Yeah. Okay. So, Kazan, you've heard of a Tasha, who is a witch from Orth, actually.
Mhm.
Wait, did I get that right? Yes, from Orth, or I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm just gonna say Orth.
That's how I pronounce it.
Yeah, she probably the most significant thing about her that you would I don't want to maybe admire. That's entirely up to you. But I guess my point is she is what we would call over the table a chaotic neutral. She is not really driven by motivations that people would consider evil versus good, which is what makes her unique in her endeavors and why she's so famous. Like the things that she's done are purely in the interest of like becoming more powerful. Again, not necessarily an evil thing, and like documenting creatures, places, people, and things across the multiverse. That's what you're gonna get for Odysseia and Bast. Before Bast's other existing knowledge and experience with her, you know that she is the adopted daughter of Baba Yaga, who is another like super famous mage. She's a renowned demonologist. Like her knowledge of the abyss and demons and her documentation of them is pretty much unparalleled. You know, even before a history check, even Mordenkainen has done some work in this realm as well. But Tasha, like, she's the expert in that kind of stuff. Odysseia, you would even know of a book that she's written called The Demonomicon of Igwilv, though you've not experienced that book for yourself.
Okay.
Bast, on top of all of that, you've had some personal time with Tasha, and her personality overall is a little bit, she's kind of scattered. Think semi-controlled ADHD. She could be having one thought and conversation here, and then all of a sudden she'll have this grand idea, and then she'll be off in the weeds about that. But she's like so insanely intelligent that it still makes sense even when she's going 60 different directions. Something is off about Tasha in front of you right now, especially after she said, "Excuse me, have we met?" And then she kind of had this moment of, "Oh yeah, I know what's going on." But you don't know what that's all about yet. One more history check. This is for Mordenkainen.
40.
It's a 14 for me.
Okay.
Just a 10.
22.
23 for Alaska.
All right, Alaska and Odysseia. And I'm sorry, guys, this is what I meant. You have different knowledge about all three of these guys, so multiply all three of them by the 5 of you in like the different levels of knowledge. Like, try to keep it straight for yourselves. Like, what do you know about who? And we'll just do the best we can with all this. Okay, Odysseia and Alaska. Mordenkainen is, I guess it looks like, of the 3, the one you know of the most. He's also from Orth. He's really well known for his like bravery and feats of danger. His power, his uniqueness of spell casting, and some texts that he's written, including the this is technically, no, I'm gonna switch now since it's a new campaign. He has also categorized places and creatures across the multiverse that probably Odysseia might have come across. And Alaska, you're also aware of, but Alaska, it's probably a little over your head with the.
I mean, I like places.
Yeah.
Like you've seen the book behind the case,
Right.
kind of thing.
And the rest of you,
I know
like
what's in the book. I just haven't read the book.
Yeah.
the rest of you, like you've heard of this guy. He's super famous, and you know that he's a very powerful wizard as well. But details beyond that would probably not be in your purview at the moment. Okay, continue.
So the last we had just sat down, or the table had just been brought over. So are we all sitting back down at the table now? Doing
Yes.
a chill for a second? All right. Thank you kindly, everybody. Again, maybe a light round of introductions. I know, you all seem very important. I recognize a couple of you. Again, there is a lot of importance here. Why don't we just, everybody says who they are, and then we can go into a light discussion of why we are here and what you guys exactly did. Again, I am Alaska Jane. Who wants to go next?
My name is Kazan Kabar.
I'm gonna have you guys go first, real quick.
Sure.
I am Bostet Campbell, and this is my dear pumpkin.
Interesting.
Okay.
That would be you, Odysseia. You're next at the
I
table.
know.
Oh, sorry.
Oh.
Okay.
I've been introduced, it seems.
Well, I will formally introduce this as Odysseia. Do you have a last name? It's Andrea.
That's a great question. Probably, I don't actually know. I should
All right.
figure that out.
I'll be like, this is an esteemed Odysseia esteemed scholar. If we can now get you three, please.
Tasha's gonna just kind of like lean back in a chair and just flick her wrist like this, and an apple will appear in her hand, and she's just gonna kind of like chew on it, and she's taking all of this in right now. You can tell that like the wheels are spinning hard right
Sure.
now. She's trying to figure something out. Illustrial is still kind of taken aback by the whole thing, and you can tell she's like deep in thought as well, trying to figure out what's going on. Mordenkainen is just like standing there with his arms crossed and his brow furled. All three of them clearly deep in thought, still trying to figure out what's going on. And they will each introduce themselves as just, my name is Mordenkainen, my name is Tasha,
Sure.
my name is Illustrial.
Mhm.
Mordenkainen will continue. What precisely were you doing as you arrived here?
We were escorting a captive of a cult of Vecna out of the Shadowfell, as we had crossed through a curtain
What was
of
it called?
dusk.
Yeah.
Dusk
Is that-
crevice.
Crevice of dusk.
Crevice of Dusk, yes.
We could hear you.
And
You could hear us.
Yes.
Ah, the incantation we were just doing.
Yes.
He's just gonna squint and tilt his head toward you guys, and then like give a side eye to Illustrial. Illustrial is going to have this curious and concerned look to her. She's just going to come up to you guys in general, like get a physically closer look at you, and like hold up her staff and a hand toward Kazan, since you spoke up. You can easily recognize this as like she would like to cast a spell, and she'll just say, "Hey, I."
so long as it will not fall harm onto me. And I'll like give a hand wave, like a permissive hand wave.
I can assure you it will not. And she just whispers like one word under her breath and twists her hand with the staff in it toward you. You're going to all see this like very brief flash of light, and then all of you will have this moment of recalling the moment that you were shunted away and saw when you interrupted the ritual from the first dungeon, and when you were kind of blasted out into nothingness, and you saw all these like hundreds of places and spaces where these rituals to Vecna were happening. Except this time you kind of like feel a little bit of imagine you had like a piece of string like just glued to your sternum, and the glue is dried and like somebody's tugging on it. You feel that like very light pull right in the middle of your sternum, and in recalling this. And when she finishes this, you're fine. Nothing's happened to you really, except for seeing that again. She is going to just like silently look over at Tasha and Mordenkainen. They're both doing this like like looking around as they're in thought, and like they understand what just happened. Mordenkainen is going to chime in and say, still piecing this together, but it seems our wish was not entirely botched. Curious.
What was it that you'd wished for?
Illustrial's going to chime in. It seems you have this connection to the Whispered One, God of Secrets, Vecna. And if I'm not mistaken, you know this, don't you?
Yes, when we encountered him upon his arrival on the material plane, he imparted us with some, maybe not necessarily piece of him, but remnant of his existence.
You are very close. Yes, he was not there himself. Although you are correct that he did, seems inadvertently, impart a piece of his essence onto you. I don't think that he's aware of this. This is something that could be to our advantage. You were going to say something, Vic?
He just goes, he's not aware now. Because we know that. We felt that.
You do know that. Yes.
Yeah.
Mordenkainen is going to continue. We missed something with our wish here, but it seems that it's not entirely lost. No, they have a connection to Vecna. It seems so foolish to me that we thought we could just wish our problem away, but perhaps it still brought us the solution.
And again, I would like to inquire.
Did you wish us into existence? Wait, can we get more information on what the wish was for?
We've been aware for some time.
Spell.
Yeah.
Did a wish spell. That's so stupid.
Come on, y'all.
They're the three most fucking powerful wizards in the Pantheon, and they made a wish spell? Okay, cool.
Guys,
fucking do some do some thinking.
Tell me how you really feel about it, Andrea. Holy shit.
I have a lot of feelings about it immediately right now.
Me quickly scratching off the wish spell for my last spell to take. Oh my goodness.
You are aware that Vecna is currently in ritual to remake all of reality in his image, are you not?
Were we aware of that specifically, or were we just aware that he was like around and doing a Vecna?
You are the second.
Okay.
So wait, he's working to, will you say it again? Because I started writing it and I got distracted as you were saying it.
Remake all of reality in his image.
Oh, gross.
I mean, I don't think we knew to that extent. I knew we were aware of his presence in general resurgence, but ultimate plans, no, we have just learned that now. Can someone get her a Valium or something?
Sam, I don't know if you're just face acting right now or you're thinking of something you want to say.
I am, yeah, I'm face acting, but
Okay.
also, again, just boss is just consumed with what the fuck have these people gotten me into? And it, like, Pumpkin can do no wrong. Pumpkin is family. She doesn't know the rest of these fucking people. She met these people 48 hours ago ish.
Something like
right?
that. Yeah.
Yeah, about.
So again, this is very much like, what the fuck has she gotten into? And it's just this, like, okay, we got to get this figured out. She had her outburst because she kept quiet through for a full fucking day of being transferred through multiple planes that was not part of the fucking plan. And again, and her family, Pumpkin, was nearly killed twice. And she blames
everybody else.
Yeah, the people who got us
Yeah.
into this. Which is why she is fully on the I'm out as soon as we step foot in the fucking material plane again, and I'm taking Pumpkin with me because y'all are like, y'all did this and y'all can clean it up. Like, that is her MO.
Sure.
Can I say something over the table real quick?
Yeah.
Is that, by the way, Bast is putting ownership over Pumpkin is making Odysseia livid.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure.
Because
and this is
her
why,
childhood best friend.
Sure. And this
who
is
she
why
has adventured with.
I wanted Ash here today, because that was the choice I wanted her to make.
Right.
Yeah.
We can talk with her about that off screen. Yeah. Just to make sure we don't assume too much.
And I had actually told her she had two choices. She could go with me, or she could calm me down and help me figure out how to emotionally rejoin this party.
Okay.
Okay.
So what I hear is you have decided you don't like this character and want a new one?
No.
Okay.
No, I love this character.
I'm thinking, I want to say this over the table. I'm thinking of a roleplay scene that I will probably try to initiate later, just so that it's like,
great,
just so that we're not like kind of floundering about this. So I have an idea for later.
Great.
All right.
Sweet.
So I asked what exactly the wish was.
Yeah.
Was where we were
What's
actually
the
at in
wish?
the story.
Sorry.
Yeah.
That was
And then Andrea, judged them very fiercely.
Just ripped them a new one.
Yeah.
Because we didn't ever get to hear what the wish was. They were just, just kinda...
We wish Vecna would go away. What the fuck, guys? You're the three greatest minds of our age.
That is some ADHD bullshit, though.
Yeah.
Mordenkainen is going to continue. It is noteworthy that Tasha is still just like kind of sitting back. She like physically she's got this like very casual, just like arms over the armrest. She's kind of like playing with this half an apple that she's been munching on, still deep in thought and observing everything that's happening. She doesn't seem disconnected or like she doesn't care or anything. This is just like in alignment with her personality.
Sure.
Illustrial is much more. God, how do I describe the image in my head? She's not like sheepish in any way whatsoever. She does seem very put together and like and poised, but she's still also very much in her head,
Sure.
trying to figure
More
something
like-
out.
She has like
reserved.
resting, disappointed face.
More like resting. What do we do now? Face.
Sure.
Uh,
Resting, oh shit face. I had a,
clicking all of the Google
Yeah.
tabs to be like, where did this go wrong?
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on?
Right.
There's people. I do have to be nice, but like I am trying to figure this out.
yeah, resting, oh
Right.
shit face.
Yeah,
Okay.
and Mordenkainen's much more of the three, just kind of like think out loud.
Sure.
And especially with conversating with you guys. So he's gonna continue, and like my physical face, I'm like actually kind of acting out how I imagine he looks. He's just like furled and looking around like he's actually looking at stuff, but he's not. Like, where did we miss? What did we do wrong? So he's gonna continue. Well, perhaps it was the finer details of what specifically we asked for. No, I thought we were very intentional about it, but essentially we wished that the ritual of remaking would be disrupted to the point of not being able to be completed. Perhaps that's still doable, but clearly the wish did not make it happen.
What do you mean by clearly the wish did not make it happen? Can you tell that it's still going on in some way?
Oh, yes, we can.
And what way is that?
He's going to look to Illustrial. And she's going to say, "Are you sure this is safe to do again?" And he will nod. She is going to begin casting a spell.
I'm sure I'm not one to need to educate a lot of you, but the divine beings are quite stingy with the miracles that they provide. I would ask that you be careful.
Here it is. There's going to be so much stuff to look up for this whole conversation. Yeah, so she uses her staff. She like sets it down in front of her, and it stands up on its own. She lets go of it and basically does this kind of like motion, like she's doing a crystal ball with the staff a few times, and then with a flick of her fingers, you'll see it light up with this image, projected image in front of you of just like black and marbly silver just kind of swirling. It kind of looks like, actually, everybody history check. Another.
Kabooey.
This check,
It looks
I like
like-
it. Ooh.
It looks like a rotten eyeball.
Nat 20.
Nice.
Nat one.
Nice. Ooh.
That would be a 31.
Oh, man.
What is this shit?
Ew, it's an eyeball. Turning away.
Ew.
Bost, you would have a moment of, is this the abyss? And then you go, no, that's not, it doesn't feel right. Odysseia, you'd have that, thought process, but like more immediately you get to, no, that's not it. It is a physical space that you do not recognize, but you know it has to be somewhere in the multiverse. It's definitely not here. It's definitely not the material plane. It's definitely not the abyss. Like, you go through all of the planes of existence that you at least have read about, if not studied to some degree. And you're like, it's not any of those. What is this? And then as you have that thought process, all of you are going to see it, it's like zooming, like the image is going through a space, and then you see this image of Vecna with his head up, his arms outstretched, and there's this like purple and red smoke that's billowing from everywhere around him, like up, forming his robe. It is very much like the image I've shown you before, but I'll throw
It's
it up
so
again.
cool. This art is so cool in this
It
book.
really is.
There's a gnat. There's a gnat that's been hounding me, and I'm going to kill it. It is going to die.
Where did it go? Oh no! I have it somewhere. Oh, that's why. It's not. It's in this folder. That's why. There's so much art in this, you guys. Here we go. Oh, it's a new one. Let's give you a new one.
Nice. He's sucking somebody's soul out of his eyes.
So that like billowy red purple robe thing he's got going on, it's like smoke coming into that as if it's like forming it for him, and he looks exactly like this. And you can see his
Ooh.
mouth moving. He's like doing an incantation actively right now. You only see this for like a split second before he looks directly at you, and each of you thinks like he's looking at you specifically through this image, and then he just blinks once and the image like shatters. You can hear as if an actual glass ball shattered on the floor in front of you guys, and it's gone. And Illustrial's going to sit back down in her chair, and you can tell that this drained even more out of her, so she's looking a little more physically tired. We've interrupted nothing.
Well, I doubt that the wish is entirely wasted, as that's not usually a phenomenon. It might come with some fine print, but
Perhaps our wish was not granted in the way that we thought it might be. The wish itself did not interrupt the ritual, but we are still able to do that. Perhaps it is simply the people who are tied to him that need to do it. And then he just looks at all of you. And Illustrial and Tasha are going to both have this like eyebrow raised moment. What's everybody's passive insight?
9.
12 or 9?
14.
Oh,
It
wait,
says
hold
9.
on. 13.
23.
I lied. 13.
13, 23. What was Bost again?
14.
14.
Pumpkins is a 18.
Okay, 13 and 14. Whoever had those, you would be like, oh, clearly a new idea just popped into their heads when he said this. 18 and Odysseus was way higher than that, right?
23.
Okay, 18. Pumpkin would understand that the two witches are wrestling with that idea right now. Odysseus, you would understand that Tasha is much more, oh, that's curious, than Illustrial. Illustrial's more along the lines of uh-oh and oops.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Can I tell that the oops is like, oh no, we've involved more people in this thing we're trying to solve? Or is it a like, oh god, here's another complication?
Definitely not the complication thought. Yeah, much more along the lines of like, we thought we were taking care of this ourselves. We didn't want to impose other people into this.
Got it.
I think
Okay.
Alaska, with her 9 insight, hears all of that and she goes, I think I understand it, guys. I apologize, party. I think I am the wish. Because
love
I'm a
Alaska.
follower of Ayun, I think I was brought here to harbor the information to take down Vecna. It makes so much more sense now.
Yes. It is novel that the divine beings conjured us out of all people.
Me. It's mostly me. And unfortunately, the party that I brought here, and my apologies to Bast.
Love it.
But please
Oh,
continue with your information. Because the more information we have, the more information that we, specifically me, I, can use to bring down Vecna.
Well, we do know at the very least that this problem is not as immediate as it may seem. Well, at least not insofar as complete remaking of existence as we know it. We do know that these rituals to aid him are happening now and everywhere, though. Not sure that there's much we can do about those, or that we should do about those. We should focus our efforts on his ritual itself. We did have a contingency plan, and he says that with like a very much like a do I bring this up now kind of vibe to his voice.
I prefer not dying if that's with a contingency.
And Illustrial's just gonna kind of like rub her temple, and Tasha, like, this is the first time she stops and actually looks over to him with a raised brow. I wasn't exactly for this before, but does seem like the only viable solution on the table at this moment.
What I said or something that you're thinking of right now?
Say that again, you broke up a bit.
Oh, sorry, I said what I said, or something new that you're thinking of now? In reference to like we would prefer to not die.
Oh.
Sure.
Yes, well, not dying is of course at the top of the list of priorities, but it's a lot to ask of them, Mordenkainen. And then he's going to chime in and say, well, we would not be entirely disconnected from the effort. It would be a team assault, if you will, on all of our parts. We would play ours and they would play theirs. Perhaps a divide and conquer. We can at least point them in the right direction for the first piece.
Yes, as much of the right direction you can point us in would be helpful.
However, it's my understanding that it would probably be in your best interest to be back home for at least some time. Is that a correct assessment?
Sometime at least.
Yeah, look at
yes.
Boss.
You are, of course, welcome to rest here as long as you may need. But we can.
That sounds lovely.
We can send you back to your home as long as we can work out a plan and have your assurance that you'd come back. It does seem very clear to us that you are the key to this. And he's talking to all of you broadly right now.
Specifically me.
Specifically.
Yeah.
There.
She thinks in her brain.
No, you say it out loud.
Where are we exactly?
Yes. And he's just going to like give a slight bow and gesture over to Illustrial and say, this beautiful sanctum is the work of Madame Silverhand here. And then she's going to chime in. We call this place Sigil. It is, well, at least this building is of my creation over the course of much time and effort, and in the interest of having a place, well, I should say a safe place to study and practice and learn without disrupting the material plane as we know it. You are welcome anywhere in here. I see we have an astute woman of books here. We have a lavish library. We also have many bedrooms. We have the means to supply this place nearly indefinitely. You can consider this your safe place, just as our equals.
So this is not in or on the material plane. Are you your own plane?
Yes.
The demi plane.
It's like if you crawled into the bag of holding and then just kind of hung out in there. It's yeah.
All right.
Can you, Miss Campbell, can you handle a night, one more evening, a night of rest, so that you could maybe return to your children in a slightly better mood?
Well,
Maybe think on the situation a little bit more, as opposed to just harsh words from a long day. Is this 2 days?
from the sounds of all of this, I'm stuck in this for the long haul. So, as long as I can get word back to Nathan and the family to let him know that this is going to be a slightly longer situation.
I'm sure we can't get word back to Nathan and the family. And she's like looking at the wizards like, can you guys fuckers help me with this right now?
Odysseus is not going to look at her, but just go, if we have time to rest, I could send in your husband, if that's of interest to you.
Over the table, does that even work across planes?
It can. You have to roll a dice though.
Okay.
It's like
Pretty
one
good
in.
chance
It's
it
like a.
does.
It's
It's
a
like
19
a-
to 20 chance that it does work though, right? There's
Right.
only like
Yeah,
a 1 in
basi-
20 that it doesn't.
So
I think it's if you roll a nat 1, it doesn't work or something like
Sure.
that.
yeah, it's a 1 in 20 chance
have
that it doesn't
The
work.
card somewhere, but I don't know where right now.
Yeah.
Illustrial will chime in and say it would probably be in your best interest to go first before trying any such magic. This place is heavily and thoroughly protected. Again, for the purpose of safety.
I would also like to see and say goodbye to my children before we go on this much larger adventure. Because apparently, I am now a vessel of some sort and I have some sort of connection. But right now, I am exhausted. And I need sleep.
Why, yes, of course. There are bedrooms up those stairs. And she'll point both to the northeast and southeast, where you see spiral staircases going up.
Can I pull Tasha aside
Yeah.
as we're and so I'm saying so you don't recognize me, where our paths haven't crossed in this situation.
Okay, so would you say that you'd like pulled her physically like
Yes.
away from the group to talk
Yes,
privately?
I'd say Tasha, can you show me to my room, please?
There you go.
Ah, okay. Duh. Here we go. You guys are up here. That was... So these two go up the stairs to the northeast. And we'll like for now pause for everyone else and come back to like while that conversation is happening. What are the rest of you doing? But for now, this is a Bast and Tasha moment. Let's actually have a quick break right
Right.
before we start that conversation. We will be right back.
If I just moved my head a little bit back, and it's just like, boom, gone.
Oh, I
No more.
almost caught you
We
just
got it.
awkwardly doing this when I cold opened.
Oh, bummer.
Testing. All right, no, that's much better. I'm glad we figured that out. Okay, we
Oh, yeah.
are back. And I've got my whiskey now, so I am more emotionally prepared than I was before. We have been working through some tension and figuring out what the fuck is going on. So the scale of what's going on is now on the table. And everybody's kind of processing that their own way right now. We are cutting to a one-on-one conversation between Bost and Tasha. And Sam, you basically asked, so you don't remember me and meeting before, right?
Yeah.
Okay. She's gonna have this kind of like moment of thinking. What's your passive insight again?
Passive insight is
Yes.
14.
Okay. You're getting this vibe of like her basically thinking, what do I say here? What specifically do I say here? And she's trying to work it out and kind of have this moment where she shrugs her shoulders in a very much like fuck it kind of way and say, I'm sure that you know who you know, and that is Tasha, yes. But that is my future. That is not precisely me.
Well, it's lovely to be the first to meet you because my husband was the one who introduced us.
Oh, is that so?
Yes. So now when you meet him, you can tell him, ha ha ha, I've met your wife.
I like you.
You
Feisty
know,
and fun, yes.
I again apologize for the outburst, but
Oh, I'm sure, at least from what you said, that it was entirely warranted, or at least mostly warranted. We'll keep that detail between you and your friends there, but I can assure you that Mordenkainen was right. That last part was unfortunately us.
yes. Well, so how deep in this are we? Should I be telling Nathan that we're going to be gone for a few weeks? Is there a chance that I won't come back from this?
Well, in the interest of divulging everything I can, it's probably a mix. If our calculations are correct, this ritual, and she's gonna have this like wide-eyed head shaking, like I can't believe I'm saying this right now. Scale of this is way too big, kind of concern. She's gonna continue. I believe you all should have time occasionally to relax, rest, go see your families, take some time for yourselves. But when you do move on to the task at hand, the next step, whatever and wherever that may be, you should assume that your best game will be necessary simply just to survive, let alone succeed. But from what I can tell, that should be entirely doable. You'll just need to be very much on top of your game.
Nathan's going to be so upset with me.
Remind me, Sam, what there was so much to study between all of your
Sure.
character sheets and all the shit that's going on. I'm blanking on what exactly was the relationship between Nathan and Tasha at the time that he introduced you.
So Nathan is a wizard. They met through they met through some mutual friends. and we were all at some sort of gathering, and that's how, like we we met at like a party the first time we met.
Got it. Okay.
But then the friendship developed, and again, like she's been to my home. She's, like, yeah.
Okay. Okay, so the Tasha
Hmm.
on top of everything we've said already is much more eccentric.
Sure.
She is there are visible signs that she is older than the one you see right now.
Sure.
And her look overall is even more, that she's Witch Queen of the Fae.
Sure.
This is not that Tasha. She's a little bit more dialed back. You can tell, like, in all ways, she just seems younger. She's not quite as out there. She is her outfit is much more, I guess, for lack of a better way of putting it, normal looking to you. And she does seem like she's more taking things in instead of like projecting her personality out there.
Sure.
So what was the last thing you said to her? I apologize.
I said Nathan is going to be so upset with me.
I'm sure there will be ways to reconcile that. And if it's any consolation, you can always just throw the three of us in front of that. It seems technically our fault that you're at least here right now. Although I can't say much for everything that's happened before that.
Yes. Well, I also am not ready for another litter. Let's put it that way. So we'll do what we can to ease his mind. When I get home, we need to find some sitters, because I don't know that he can handle all the kids on his own for that long. Ooh.
It is a lot. How many?
12.
Oh, even more than I assumed.
Yes, 2 litters.
Well, you both seem to have your work cut out for you.
We actually have one named after you.
Is that so?
Yes.
Please tell me about them.
Natasha Ann. She's a wild one. She's still young. Gets into everything. She is obsessed with throwing things with her mind.
Sounds like my kind of girl.
Yes. She's just learned how to levitate some objects, and so she's trying to learn the art of projecting those things that she is levitating. Yes, she's a little monster, and I love her dearly.
Well, I'm sure the future me has met Natasha already, but I myself would very much like to have that honor sometime as well, should the time and opportunity allow.
I would love that.
Yes. Well, it does seem that some more planning is necessary at this point for everything that's going on. Will you be rejoining us, or are you turning in for the day?
I think I need some rest.
Fair enough. Please let any of us know if you need anything.
Thank you, Tasha.
Okay, and then she's gonna start back down the stairs. We will pause there for Boston Tasha. Is there anything specific that you guys down here want to be doing or talking about during that same time?
I actually have a somewhat over-the-table question, which is very early when we started. You said there was a way for us to gain like skills and proficiencies and abilities by taking some time to learn them.
Yes.
We are in a wizard's tower. Can we learn things here?
Yes, and that is open invitation for sandbox. Whatever idea
Okay.
you have for wanting to learn something, I'm gonna yes and the fuck out of it as much as I can.
Okay.
Probably in between sessions, I'll try to workshop
Yes.
with you like mechanically how do we make this happen, but it's going to be basically along the lines of I call it downtime activities overall. If you want to craft something, you want to create even like a magical item, if you want to learn a new skill, increase your stats by training in them somehow, anything along those lines, we can figure out how to make that happen.
Okay, because I'm a nerd in a wizard tower with a library, and that
Yep.
feels like just okay.
The opportunity
cool.
is there. Yes.
Awesome. I will DM you.
Okay. Sweet.
Cool.
I think Alaska. Oh, I'll let you guys continue. Sorry, I thought you were done.
No,
Sure.
that's it.
I do want to say if there's anything that you think she would want to do like now / the time that you're immediately in Sigil, then we can try to figure out at least the start.
I think mostly I'm just thinking about the fact that it was referenced that there is a library here, and I assume that there's research, and because Odysseia is an elf, her long rest is only 4 hours.
Yes.
So I have, compared to everyone else, an extra 4 hours of like research and knowledge acquisition time, and that is kind of what I am thinking about at the end of whatever conversation we have with them. If we are all going off to rest, I would love to be able to go off and be pointed to a bookcase by somebody and then take a trance.
Sounds good. Andrea, you were going to say something.
Yeah, I think once as Boston and Tasha have gone off, so she's going up to her sleep quarters and having a chill. I think Alaska's gonna basically the thing I want to get handled is how do we get back here?
Mm-hmm.
How do we leave here? How do we get back here if we are using this as a like stomping ground?
Mordenkainen at that question would go over to the desk and sort of ruffle in one of the drawers a little bit and pull out a pair of stones. And you make a history check.
It's a magical item?
Yes.
Cool. I'm making this with expertise, so we're adding 4 to whatever this is.
Okay.
So 23.
You immediately recognize these 2 items as sending stones, but they look a little different from what you've heard of or seen before. They're in the shape of they're like rounded off oval shaped stones with like an imprint of what would look like kind of like a human ear.
Sure.
But there's like this glittery aura about them. It seems like they're probably in some way, however you can make a sending stone more powerful. That's the kind of like the vibe they give off.
Sure.
He's going to hand one to you and say, these are specifically attuned to be able to be interdimensional, essentially minus the risks of a normal sending stone should we be in different areas of existence. Whenever you would want to or need to come back, you can send a message to us here and we will be able to make that happen with our portals.
All right, thank you kindly. I think that was my big question. So obviously you 3 have been studying a great spread, by the way. I'm eating this pastry with some Bella Bertha and a nut cheese. Fabulous. Anyway, so you, the 3 of you, are obviously very aware of Vecna and his doings and what he's, I guess, trying to bring out. We found his book.
Both Illustrial and Mordenkainen are going to give you this exact look.
Yeah, it's
Oh
the
yeah, we
like
found his
vile.
book.
Yeah, that's the vile darknessy one. It's in my bag of holding. I would appreciate if we could keep it somewhere slightly safer, so that it does not destroy everything in my bag of holding. Do you by chance have a place or a situation or some amount of something that could like safety that for us? You guys are good at magic. Just wish it.
Damn.
Crazy. Oh my god.
Shots fired. Jesus.
That's so. Oh my god.
Let me just speed read one thing real quick here.
The three greatest wizards of our age, and they're like, what if we just asked for it? Insane.
Just ask.
I mean, that is pretty good magic if you could just be like, this is how things are now, and then it just is.
Right, exactly.
Okay. Illustrial is going to come forward, like, obviously very carefully and say, if that is what I think it is, then yes, we can keep it here safely. Anyway.
Yeah. Do you have gloves or like a magical hand? I don't want any like of a juju getting on anybody that it doesn't need to be.
I'll be
I
able
can
to
mage
handle
hand
that.
it out again.
That works. Yeah, I'm pretty big about protecting the light, and I really don't think that there's any light in this book. And she's gonna open up her bag.
Okay. Remind me, Andrea,
Yes.
what else is in this bag of holding?
You want a list? So things that are hers are a lot of like candles and ink and 500 gold worth of diamond dust, 1 revivified diamond, 3 potions of healing for important things. And then also the stuff that we have collected so far as a team. Gold harp that we believe was in Indrina's documents about Indrina, about
Okay.
capturing her.
I'm going to cut you off there. Sorry.
Sure.
It seems pretty apparent to me that you have a list. Do you not?
I do have a list.
Do you
I
have
do.
a number of items in that list? If you group the gold into increments and everything else is a line item on a list.
I mean, yes, I can make that happen.
Okay. How many items does that make if you make the gold is in increments of 500?
It's
We
gonna
don't
take
know
me.
how much gold we have.
We don't know how much gold we have. I don't know that. I haven't written out exact increments of everything, but like in general,
The gold you got
I
specifically
guess is there
from
like
the
a
last...
percentage of something that is gonna go away so I can remath it later, or
Pretty much, yes.
Okay.
Because of the thing you know
Right.
about the book that it physically
Which is why I'm
destroys
doing
things
this
around.
now and not in 2 weeks. Yeah.
Right. Okay. The way I'm doing this is 1 item on that list is going to be effectively destroyed for every day that you've had the book, which, if I'm mapping this correctly, has been like 1 full day.
1 full day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have you roll a die. But I'm gonna have you. Let's do this. Not now, since you don't have it like formally in a list.
I mean, like I have a list. I just don't have exactly like dollar amounts of everything. I have like, for example, 1,000 ball bearings because I have a bag of 1,000 ball bearings.
Right. So let's you and me work on making that
Okay.
a reasonable list for something's gonna be destroyed, and then
I guess then again, it's like a lot of like tiny trash things that like I don't mind if they lose, and then we have all the things that we have recently collected. So like,
right. We're gonna have to
why don't we just-
let's you and me collaborate on how to make that
Okay.
list happen,
Okay.
and then something's gonna get
Yeah.
destroyed.
Great.
But yes, so we will retcon to specify exactly what is like, oh shit, that's like withered and gross and dead now.
Okay.
But okay, Odyssea's mage handing the book.
yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Just like a girl with a dead rat.
Is there
Gotcha.
any specific look that you would say your mage hand typically has?
I think it's just kind of like this sort of like a light smoke, like a candle that's just been blown out. That really soft dove gray shade color, and it has a softness to it, and that's what it looks like.
Okay.
Maybe with like it's like a blue tinted gray.
Got it. Okay, so the hand goes in, and as is the case with the bag of holding, it grabs exactly what you intended to grab. And the second it like breaks the threshold, you'll notice a few things all at the same time. And all of you can see this. The hand itself, sorry, the cloth that you originally wrapped around it is like falling off in pieces. Imagine as if it was like on fire. But it's not actually on fire, but imagine like how a piece of fabric would fall apart because you like lit it on fire and now you're just like pulling it up through the air. Each of those pieces is like getting this creeping blackness again as if it were burning. The mage hand itself is going to also have this creeping, like the nails and tips of the fingers are changing from the tone you just described to just black, and it's like creeping up toward the wrist. By the time it actually comes up out of the bag, that creeping blackness only takes like 2 or 3 seconds to like completely engulf the hand, and the hand ends up just dissipating into ash, and the spell is gone. Sorry, the spell ends. You can feel that, like the mage hand is gone now. It's not like you lost the spell. As it starts to fall, Illustrial will like point her staff at it, and you can tell that she is now actively levitating it. And at the moment that the threshold is broken, Kazan, Alaska, and Bast are all going to experience like a very intense moment of what I've described before with the I'm so great, I'm the best, like of course I was chosen for this, like what Alaska was saying before, but you like legitimately feel it in your core, like
actually.
Yeah.
Sure.
Alaska, you're actively eating right now.
Yeah.
And it's all of a sudden like this void pit opened up in your stomach, and like literally there's not enough food on this table or in existence to satisfy you right now. And I'm gonna have you make this needs to be a wisdom save.
If you're within, is
Just
Paladin
for
one-
Alaska.
Oh, just me?
Yes, just Alaska.
Is there any time in my mind, or like mechanically, it doesn't sound like my aura's never not happening?
No, that is a persistent thing.
Great. So I'm adding 3 to this, which
Yeah.
is good because it's gonna need to be.
I think
Great,
like only ends if you
27.
die.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. You're gonna have like, I'm gonna say 2-3 full seconds of like panic. Like legitimately for 2 to 3 full seconds, you have this feeling, if I don't eat all of this right now, I'm dead. I'm dying of hunger.
Sure.
And Bast, as soon as Tasha breaks the plane of the stairs, you can't see her anymore. You need to make a wisdom save as well.
Oof, I am not good at wisdom. Oh no.
You
Oh, no.
just flop onto your bed, and you are off in bliss. You could actually be dead at this moment for all you care. This is the best rest ever. Kazan, need you to make a wisdom save.
Okay. Is this for the pride thing?
Yes.
You're within 10 feet of me.
So
You can choose to fail.
No. Yeah, I'm saying I don't know if Kazan would necessarily contest this. Just because of there is a certain level of their own hype that they do believe in.
Okay.
So I think I'm just gonna eat it. I'm gonna see what
Oh
happens.
no. Cassie.
Okay.
Go. Let's fucking go.
So yeah, you're going to have this prideful moment that I described, and you're just kind of succumbing to it, and for a moment it's like everything around you stops completely for a moment. Imagine the effects of time stop, I guess.
Mhm.
And you're going to have it's like Mordenkainen himself in front of you in this freeze frame turns into like this void pitch black like wisp, like formless wisp with two slits for red eyes, and it's just looking at you. You can feel it kind of, it's like you're having a silent conversation with another entity, and it is essentially trying to push something to you, like it offers a gift and you want that gift.
I say kind of like hesitantly in my mind, or not in my to it. I say a little bit hesitantly as I'm reaching out my arm to take it. Uh, what is it that you've brought me, strange creature?
This wisp is just going to, you'll see like a white slit form where on a normal face a mouth might be. It starts as just a line and it goes way wider than you might expect for a normal mouth, and then it curves upward and a lower lip starts to come down, and you just see bright pearly white teeth with an emphasis on fangs. And then you snap out of it. Odysseus, I need you to make a wisdom save.
Okay. No.
And let's have Pumpkin make a wisdom save as well.
Sure. Both of you, if you guys are still at the table, I think you're within that 10 feet of me if you want it.
I am. And what is it?
Plus
An extra
3.
3 or 29.
Pumpkin's got a 26.
6.
Oh my goodness.
What are you getting dice out for?
Oh no.
Every once in a while, I like to do super secret dice rolls so that not even the audience can see it. This is one of those cases.
Maybe I should have done a super secret dice roll.
Odysseus 26 and Pumpkin 23. Okay.
Add 3 to both of those because they're within my
so-
aura, so it's 29 and
so-
26.
29.
I don't think that table's more than 10 feet across.
Okay. Odysseus and Pumpkin both have a moment of like really intense desire. For just a moment. Like desire for it. It's not really clear to you if it's like desire for a thing or for like power or really good food or anything like that. There's just a really intense moment of generic desire that like wells up in you the moment this book comes into your sight, and then you snap out of it. It will be apparent to both Odysseus and Pumpkin that like something just happened because you saw the book, but you were able to react to it quickly enough to stay whatever it was. And all of you are now going to, like, all of that happened for all of you at the same time. And Illustrial is going to, like, give a flick of her wrist again. You can tell she's casting another spell, and this pink orb will form around the book itself. And she's going to have this, like, shake it off moment and just, whew. Is everyone okay?
Yeah, does that book make you hungry too?
Not exactly. Are we all okay?
Yeah.
perfectly fine, I believe.
We will handle
Let us
this.
do it.
Mm.
And at this moment, Tasha is coming back down the stairs. So is there anything in particular that you guys want to continue with? Go ahead.
Yes. I think Odysseus is going to ask, so your contingency plan of this, because we were hired to find some people, but now we are connected. If we are being sent out to stop Vecna, what are you going to be doing?
We will, for the moment, this is Mordecai. We will, for the moment, continue our research and scrying to point you in the right direction for the first piece. Are you familiar with the fabled item, the Rod of 7 Parts?
What about Alaska?
Am I?
Alaska, I'm going to give you background. Yes, you've at least heard of this, but everybody make a history check for details.
It's a magical item, so I'm adding 4 to
And
this.
if you actively want to not know anything about it, that's fine.
Natural
History?
20,
Lost
maybe.
is passed out in her
Yeah.
room.
Yep.
She's not part of this
that too.
conversation.
Five.
2 ones
no.
in a row.
No.
Oh my
Nice.
goodness.
Take them out now. Still thinking about that food I was eating.
So you're just so distracted by a cheese board.
Rachel loves a cheese
Oh,
board.
that is so poetically fitting for what's happening right now. Okay, Odysseus and Kazin, you have probably in your own way either read about or heard of. I'm not going to say you've experienced this in any way that, basically the way the lore is, that wouldn't be possible, but you know of this Rod of 7 Parts. It is a incredibly, I'm going to say, mythical item that started as something that essentially the gods used to banish a demon lord named Miska the Wolf Spider at a pinnacle point of conflict between primordials and gods eons ago. And it is rumored that, well, you know that after this banishment happened, the item itself was it shattered into 7 pieces and was basically scattered across the multiverse. Think Infinity Stones with Marvel is very much like that, except
What is the spider's name?
Miska the Wolf Spider, Miska.
Ooh.
Nice.
Yeah.
All that for just one spider?
So you're aware that this item exists, that the 7 parts are a real thing. It is rumored that, 1 part at a time can be has and can be found in various places across the known multiverse. But until now, in this very conversation, it's all been stuff of lore in books.
Mm-hmm.
You can believe that it exists, but it's been oh, that's like a thing that we're gonna go for.
Gotcha.
It's like an old war story that my mom would tell me when I was a wee spawn, I guess.
Nice.
When I was a wee spawn.
That reminds me, total side note, but this is hilarious. I saw a video recently of a mom walking up to her kid, and she had this caption on this video. It's her kid sitting at a desk playing a video game, and he's got this tablet next to him with his hers contact info on it. He has her listed as spawn point.
No.
In his contacts.
That's so
No.
funny. Oh my god.
Illegal.
And the caption on the video is, well, he's not wrong.
Yikes.
That's my kind of kid. Anywho,
That's so good. I
It's
love
totally unrelated to this at all. Anyway, so
So we're going to go find the 7 parts, is what you're saying.
it is the only other contingency that we could think of.
Okay.
It seems that what has been done to Miska the wolf spider could possibly also be done to Vecna, at least insofar as this ritual could be completely disrupted.
All
And
right.
Do you happen to know where at least some of these 7 parts are? I'm assuming you would, since it's the contingency.
Well, if our understanding of this item is correct, as long as you find one, the item itself should lead you to the rest.
Very well. And do you know where to find one?
We're still working out details, but I believe in the time that it should take you to go back to your home, handle your business, and come back here, we should be able to have that solidified.
Excellent. Odysseus is going to pull, what's her name? Illustrial?
Yes.
Just kind of be like, my lady, can I ask you, I have, I guess, in your bringing us here, you brought only us, but we were protecting someone and trying to get him home safe. Can you scry on him? Can you find him? We don't know where he is, and I'm worried. He's a little Twinkie scholar, and I don't think he'll survive.
I believe if you are willing to perform a combined effort spell with me right now, we could make that happen.
I would appreciate it. It feels... It doesn't feel right to rest knowing that we've left him in danger.
She's going to hold her hands out. She's like holding her staff, like in between the middle fingers of her hand, so that she's like still clearly intentionally in contact with it, but like otherwise holding her hands out openly to you like this.
Mm-hmm.
And clearly gesturing for you to take her hands.
Okay.
And she's going to say a series of words. On a second. That you would recognize as casting the spell Scrying.
Cool.
You would have this innate feeling as she's saying these words. It only takes like a second. But you would have this feeling that she is like intentionally connecting your minds and like pulling from your experiences, from just like, what does this guy look like? What experiences did you have with him? What does he sound like?
She's reducing the difficulty to scry on him.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
By using your experience and knowledge of him to make it happen.
Cool.
And then you'll hear the final word just kind of like echo in this chamber. And you will be able to see, kind of like as if you're in the corner of a room, and after a moment you would recognize this room as the chamber that you spoke with Lord Neverember and some priests not 2 days ago. Those priests are with him, and you will see Eldon talking to Lord Neverember. And you'll see and hear him actively describing, I was in a cage. These people came in and attacked all of these cultists. They were trying to do something to me, but I think they failed. We ended up in a strange place, and you can tell he's lying, or like
Ooh.
lying by omission because he like hesitated to. He did not divulge details here.
Sure.
Got it.
Yeah, and then he says, "Oh, but then they helped me find our way back, but when I came back, they weren't there. So, do you know where they are?"
Okay.
Let me check. I keep closing things I need, like right before I need them.
You're so Sisyphus right now.
Oh, yeah. Okay, 10 minutes, easy.
Mm.
So I'm just going to kind of what is the word? I'm just gonna kind of exposition, I guess, that you can witness an entire conversation happening between them that basically includes he doesn't know where you are. Lord Neverember tries to assure him that you'll be okay. It's great that he's okay. 2 of the others that were captured have also come back safely,
Great.
but there's still one
So-
missing.
Sarcelle has gone back, and the little gnome who was
Umberto.
hanging out with my best friend.
Umberto,
has also-
Umberto has gotten out.
Oh,
Okay.
Umberto. Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
But we never got to Indrina. So she's
we never
apparently
found-
still down there.
And she has the secret of Lord Neverember, remember?
Yes. Ooh.
So did they take her, or did he take her? This is what I am thinking.
You better
So
not be that corrupt because
I'm
she'll fuck them up.
going to give you the opportunity because again, I'm not gonna
Okay.
have a 6-minute conversation with myself. Is there any
Yeah.
details about that conversation that you would want me to try to answer questions about that you might have?
I guess with her insight, can she kind of try to understand, like, is his interactions and body language why he is like, does he look like he is potentially in fear of the Lord, and just being like, I'm checking in, we have a history, or is this a like, I study something that is convoluted and weird, and it is simply easier to not tell people about it because I don't want to get in a 35-minute explanation.
Make an insight check.
Okay. So insight, there it is.
And this should be at
And
advantage if we built
it
the
is at
thing correctly.
advantage.
Yeah.
26.
It's almost like he's not afraid of Lord Neverember. You're getting that vibe from the way he's talking with Lord Neverember. You can tell that they are well acquainted. They've definitely like exchanged, like been around each other before, talked with each other before. Like they know each other. When he like paused and sort of diverted the details of where you guys went, you know he knows where you went because you had a very pointed, specific discussion about it. He has a moment that you can tell of like, this might cause a problem if I mention details, like or panic. It might cause a panic if I divulge details, so I'm just going to skip that part.
Got it.
Anything else?
Okay. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I assume he still has his protective necklace. He looks like he probably needs to take a nap. He is safe. He got away. He probably needs like some PTSD therapy, but like other than that, he is good.
He's got this look of like he's like dirty and tired, but he's safe and unharmed.
Okay, cool.
So he like a shower, a meal, and a good long rest, and he'll probably be okay.
Okay, cool. And I think the final question is that in the Lord telling him that Indrina has not returned, what does that look like, and what is Alden's reaction to Indrina not being returned?
Over the table, remind me, did you explicitly say to him that he was one of several you were looking for?
Yes, we did. We told him we were sent by the Lord to find several people. We did tell him we found the nerd.
Okay,
I think
yeah,
we told him that
'cause-
we already got 2 people out to be like,
Yeah,
we're
I
trying,
think
we're
we
good
did.
guys.
Am I recalling
like-
correctly that that was in the context of you asking him if he knew where they were? I think that happened.
Ooh, I think so. Yeah, I think we were like, I might have to
No,
look.
because I don't think we got that far because we literally saw him in a cage, and then by the time we would have gotten him out of the cage, we were immediately in a new plane.
Right.
So I don't.
We were
I
in a
would.
new. Sorry, keep going.
I would assume even if we were like, "Did you know where she was?" That wouldn't have probably helped us any because we were also somewhere new.
Got it.
Well,
Okay.
we had that short rest with him, and we'd heard, because I have here, we'd heard of his work. We were trying to calm him down. So we were trying. I remember we had this
Yeah.
whole scenario where he was like 3 seconds from a panic attack, and we were trying to be like, my dude, it's cool. Like, this is what we're doing. This is why we're here. I know it's really stressful.
Yeah.
So I'm.
And that was that was when we like opened his like coffin thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
was when he was having that.
Once we had already vamped out of. our
It
place.
was after we put the sisters to rest.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah,
is
that
what
was
Sure.
happened, that conversation.
okay. So he, we just had to figure out some details.
Sorry.
What was the original question?
Was
Sorry.
like, what is the reaction of Indrina being missing? I don't know if we ever named her.
Oh, right.
We just said that we were looking for people and they were doing work similar to his, was what we had said, from what I can remember.
Yeah. Okay. So he's gonna say to Lord Neverember in that moment in the conversation. Until those heroes told me so, I wasn't even aware there were others. I don't know anything.
Okay.
And Lord Neverember's reaction is going to be one of concern and clearly like, shoot, we need to figure this out.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Just wondering if there's like any like surprise that an actress was also taken, like that kind of thing.
Right.
So, okay.
Okay. That is up to 10 minutes. Is there anything else?
I mean, I don't know what else to ask.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
I think
That's fine. Yeah.
So,
he's okay. We know he's okay. We know
Yeah.
Never Ember both knows that he is okay and knows that we are not here, which are like the amounts of
Yeah.
information we probably should have given out.
yeah, which is, it really is just she's worried about this person that we had pledged to protect.
Yes.
So, cool. That's good.
Okay.
I'm going to thank the wizard lady for helping me, and I feel much better about us joining you. We have simply one more person to find,
Got it.
basically.
Oh, you say that to her?
I'd like to tell her that, like,
Okay.
thank you. This is relieving. It makes me feel better that we can stay here and rest here. However, we do have one more lost person who we have to find in this journey before we can fully, or some of us, I guess, can fully join you.
Burn.
Very well. It is. It does seem clear to us that there is an opportunity to handle any business that you currently have, and she gestures to like herself and the other two wizards. We will tie up the loose ends on our side to make sure that where we do send you next is fruitful.
Thank you.
Looking at our time, guys, we should take one more brief break. So we'll pause there and be right back. right, we're back. So I intentionally paused where I did because we're essentially at a point where decisions should be made. I think I know, but I don't want to assume too much. You know, Bost has gone off to rest, presumably overnight. Is there any conversation that you would like to have any more with these wizards? And B, am I assuming correctly that you want to rest before going on to the next thing?
Kazan would end up paying a visit to probably first Odysseia, because Odysseia would be here, like in the present area before we rest.
Do you want to go sit on these cool couches? I think
Yeah,
we're
you guys can have a
done
couch
talking
chat.
to the wizards right now. At least Odysseia is kind of like, okay, I know what you guys want.
Yeah.
Those are cool couches.
I think as you guys wander off, Alaska
Sorry.
would just be like, "Hey, you got any other like cool baubles in your shelves up here that might help us in the next couple of weeks?
Ooh, we got any stuff?
Want to give me presents?" Is what she's asking. And if the answer is no, because we already have sending stones, like that's cool and great, and I'll take
You're
that.
asking the wizards if they have stuff to give you?
Yeah,
They want us to join them.
these are very nice
What's
so
the
far.
payoff?
Fair.
What you
Okay,
got?
You guys got any like cool legendary magic items or anything that you just like don't want anymore?
Got any
I mean,
doodads?
maybe it's some little ones like, let's see what these idiots think they're doing, and then later we'll get like the like bazooka gun.
Nice.
First is a
But, like-
t-shirt gun, and then they upgrade us to something better.
Yeah.
Mordenkainen's gonna chime in and say, well, we do have plenty at our disposal, but if there's anything specific you'd like, we could assuredly work to make it happen, at least to the best of our ability.
I mean, I don't have any ideas like immediately right now, and we could probably come up with a list like later than now. I just wasn't sure if you had just like stuff lying around that you were like, oh, when I was like, hey, I have a problem that needs solving of getting here again, and you were like, here's a sending stone. If I was like, hey, do you have something that maybe makes my armor not clanky clank 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 so much, that you would be like, here.
That is something that we could do, but that specifically would take a little bit of time for us to achieve.
Yeah, no worries. I don't mind being loud. And then I think she'll just continue eating.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys go have your.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
mind coming back to that later.
Yeah, I think later we'll find a way, but I just figured
Yeah.
offhand if there was a list.
So over the table, essentially, no, there's not a list of pre-existing stuff, but you're working with 3 of the most powerful wizards ever known, so we can make some shit happen. Given time and planning, both
Sure.
between sessions and like in game,
Sure.
Okay. Cool.
within reason, of course.
Yes. Absolutely. Okay.
Have your chat.
Okay. I'm gonna go sit here.
I would assume that Odysseia would probably have like a book at this point already, right? Like not like fully focused on reading some wizard library stuff.
I think it is absolutely like if there's bookshelves, she is looking.
For sure.
So
I would come over here and just kind of I would say, excuse me, do you mind if we just kind of talk about what happened earlier?
sure.
I'm not particularly good at the resolving conflict part of a conflict. I'm much more of the creating it and then making it last longer than it needs to. But I just wanted you to know that I think that you are correct and that this does need to be seen through to the end. Um, but I don't think that
appreciate that.
holding, of course, I don't think that holding any malice towards Bost will be a productive way to hold out through what is to come.
I think you'll find, because you are an instigator in things as it seems, not in a bad way. That sounds great.
Oh, none taken.
You
I pride myself on that.
you can forgive someone for something they've said, but it does not undo what they have said.
I know all too well about the inability to undo a wrong course of action. Um, which is
I
why
feel, yeah.
I was just going to say that, which is why I'm planning on stopping by Bost's room as well. Um, to make sure that she knows that her importance is it's very clear as to her role in this group is of much importance, rather. In one sense.
I think perhaps as much as we may feel, or she even may feel, that she should not be here, it seems that Vecna has decided that she is to be here. And I guess it's up to her to maybe see if she wants a world that her children can live in more than she wants to see them for a day or so.
Kaz will have like a very large smile on their face and go, "My thoughts exactly." Um,
I'm not interested in starting shit, but I don't know if I appreciate the way that I have been treated.
I understand it's quite a juxtaposition going from a not fully corporeal being to being thrown into the body of an adolescent for like ever. So I I would understand the state how the statements that were made could be upsetting, of course.
Hey, that's a whole other conversation I feel like we need to have, because that what?
It's it's been a while now. I'm over it. It's but like look,
Okay.
skin and stuff. That's just kind of how we're at.
Yeah, that seems like a lot to deal with. I guess for cohesiveness, something I can tell you is when you're in a library, you learn to be good at being silent. So I guess maybe I'll just work on that.
Sounds like we might need quite the uproar soon. Um, and then I'll stand up and begin to walk away.
Cool. I want that nerd man to show me a library.
And then
Okay.
also after that, they're gonna read some books. Beep 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 beep.
Okay, so
I
you're
was gonna
asking.
walk over here, but this is like a weird little sigil guy.
Yeah, that is a thing on the floor. Wait, let me look.
It looks like a butterfly.
Does it sting like a bee?
That's so pretty.
If I'm reading this correctly, that is just decorative. It's not like an active
Okay.
portal or anything like that.
Okay, cool. So yeah, knowing that it's decorative, Chasm would just walk right over it, and not like, yeah, and then just begin to head upstairs.
Okay, and I'm gonna only slightly amend something I said earlier. They do have like items, magical items, just like readily available,
Sure.
but there's no specific list.
Sure.
Okay.
So yeah, depending on what you might want / ask for, I can follow this guide to probably make that happen. And then anything that they don't have, obviously they can use their resources,
Sure.
as they said in character, to try to make it something happen.
I think what we'll do, just to like as a general retcon, or we'll figure this out once you and I figure out what things were deleted from my list, is I might, like, once we figure out what the book corrupted, I might ask for, like, hey, can I get this replaced if
Sure.
it's important. If it's not important,
Yeah.
I don't give a shit.
Sure.
Get rid of
Okay.
some of my ink. Like, who cares?
Okay. So you ask Mordenkainen to lead you to the library?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to chat with him and like be like, I've absolutely read some of your work, like being interested about what he's up to. Like, she's a nerd and is meeting an author, like, and in one of the authors that she has admired, like personal library.
Sure.
Sure.
You know, just
Okay.
being like, I'm interested. This is very cool. Can I see your library? I've read your work, and
Yeah.
I was wondering. I had a question, anyways, about this reference.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like, hi, Stephen Hawking. I am also a physicist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are we leaving it at that, or is there anything you want to specifically walk and talk about?
I don't know right now.
Okay, that's fair.
Is the problem? I'm so sorry.
That is
Maybe-
okay.
Maybe we use this, like, this trick is just the, like, hey, we're all starstruck and we don't even know what to ask. I'm sure we will be back here in a small, short amount of time now that we have a Ascending
Yeah.
Stone to get us here. And
When I
somebody needs to
when I
nap.
tell you that from my end, like no amount of preparation could have gotten me to like I'm ready for this session. Like there was just
Right.
gonna be some amount of whatever the fuck. We'll figure it out when it happens. And I like
Yeah.
I've been doing D&D for a long time, and I know like places to go to look for things. I cannot imagine what this is like right now for someone who is like new to D&D. So
Yeah.
Fuck.
if you think of things
Fuck.
later, we can make it happen.
Sure.
That's totally
Cool.
fine. So essentially, you are led by Mordenkainen over here to the west. He's gonna get to the entrance with you here and explain, generally speaking, sections of things to that are
Sick.
available to you. Anything here is available to you and at your disposal. I only ask that you return anything you take off a shelf before you leave. We would like to keep this
Of
library
course.
whole.
Of course. I completely understand.
All right. So, Odysseia, would you say that
Yes.
you'd want to look for things and try to study something before you actually rest or after?
I think. Oh, God. I mean, she's a nerd. She's not going to sleep. I mean, she's going to, but like, she's going to study first and then be like, I need to trance. Hang on.
Sure. Okay.
So it might be like study for a couple hours, trance for 4, wake up early, like stay up till 2, get up at 6 kind of thing.
Yep. Okay, so we'll pause there then. Is anybody else, I guess, Alaska and Kazan, is there anything else you would want to do before turning in for the night?
I think I would just do a quick check-in with Kaz and be like, how you feeling about all this, buddy?
Fairly, it's definitely come as a surprise for our like current situation. Tensions are running high, but I don't think you need to be a genius to recognize that. I don't know. All things considered, pretty well. Just tired. Not really enthused to hear about the whole remaking the world in my image kind of thing.
Truly.
It sounds like a nightmare
Crazy
for
god
everyone.
shit, am I right? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was just gonna go talk to Boston, see if there can be a little bit of extra sway in the direction of what we believe is probably the best course of action. got you felt like the like weird like pulse kind of thing when the book came out too, right? Where it was like the
Oh yeah, it was insane. I was like so hungry.
gotcha.
Yeah. And so you felt
Yeah.
something too?
I felt like time stop, which is weird.
Okay,
I got-
what happened in that time stop?
There was like this strange smoke creature that like was Mordenkainen, and then he kind of he shifted into, or he was Mordenkainen, and then he like shifted into like this wispy kind of like fog creature, and then he was offering me something. I couldn't see what he was offering me, but I knew that there was an offering there.
Sure.
Kazan, make an
And then
insight
he-
check.
Okay.
Real quick. I don't mean to interrupt this, but a thing just happened.
Ooh,
A
with
thing
the
happened.
thing, we have the thing now.
You do.
17.
17. As you're specifically describing Mordenkainen, like the thing changing Mordenkainen, you get a confident vibe that it's whatever that was is really not specific to Mordenkainen. It just kind of happened where he was standing.
And then, kind of like as I'm saying this out loud, I would go, well, I guess if it's probably wasn't him given the circumstances of what we're going through, but that was just kind of how it appeared. And then, offering me the whole thing. I asked it what it was offering to me, and then it grinned with fangs, and then I was back.
Huh. Did that like smoky creature that you saw, did it look at all like that vintage of Vecna that we saw immediately before?
Eyes were red, but it wasn't necessarily like the same. Similar, but not the same.
Sure.
If that makes sense.
Well, that's disconcerting. Yeah. I don't have any other insights on that. I don't really have any other thoughts. It's been a day.
Fangs. How many things do we really know that have fangs? I guess.
I mean, I think she just absentmindedly names like 6 things that have fangs. She's probably like, werewolves and like spiders and like this thing and like this thing and like
Spider.
this thing.
I wonder if it's the wolf spider that's approaching me.
Ooh. Oh, yes.
That's gotta be
Maybe.
it.
That's sure.
That's
Probably.
gotta be what it is.
It's probably a wolf spider.
Yeah, I appreciate the check-in.
Sure. Yeah.
You're doing okay? You had the
I mean, I'm clearly supposed to be here. It is a lot of information, and it is disconcerting and like daunting of a task. But I feel pretty okay. Yeah, I agree. I'm worried a little bit about the inter-party conflict. I don't feel like we were necessarily drug into this, but I can see how it could be thought that way. So yeah, I think good on you, man. To go and you're gonna like do a mediation. I think that's a good call. And yeah, that's all I got.
we'll see you in the morning, I guess. I'll probably head to bed right after this because I'm drained.
Yeah. I agree. I think that's same.
Handshake. Do we have a handshake?
Do we have a secret handshake or are we hug buddies? She's a tiny hug buddy. You have to pick her up, and she's very heavy.
I don't know if it would be a thing where it's like I struggle every time for the hug because I have.
She just climbs on top of something so that she can hug you, so you don't have to try. Yeah.
All right. See you in the morning, bud.
All right. Good night, Cassie.
And then I'll begin to head upstairs to like look for Boss because that was the last place I saw her before. We continue down here.
You're like actively looking for Boss, like to try to talk with her?
I would come up, and then if it was like a corridor I don't know. I would have to see what that place looks like. 'Cause I don't know what's up there yet.
So it's a stairway that goes right up to a closed door. There's no like hallway with a series of doors or anything. It just that particular stairway goes up to its own door, and it's closed.
Are these are Tasha and fuck, I forgot her name. Hold on, looking.
Illustrial.
Illustrial, thank you. Are Tasha and Illustrial still there?
They are.
And where they are on the map right now.
Are they in the correct place? Yeah, they're both over here. I'm gonna say they're like in chairs, kind of at this desk, talking with each other.
Excuse me. I would call down to them
From the top of the stairs?
from the top of the stairs.
Yeah, they'll both like look up at you.
Is this a bedroom or is this like another hallway that I could just walk into? Don't want to be impolite.
Tasha will pipe in and say, that is where your friend Bost is resting. There are more bedrooms across the other way. And we'll point toward other staircases.
Thank you. I wanted to see if I could get a last conversation before we head to bed. Thank you for the help.
I will point out that the actual map you see has a limited number of staircases to bedrooms, but this place does accommodate the number of people that it needs to. So we can just kind of imagine that there are the correct number of staircases going to individual rooms each.
Gotcha. Yeah, so at the top of the stairs, I would give a knock on the door and see if Boss would reply.
You give a knock and
Or
there
if
is no
Bost-
reply.
Ooh. Okay.
Sorry, Sam. No option here.
Oh no.
Even like the dead.
Yeah, boss
Yeah.
failed that wisdom save. She is
Super.
out.
Okay. Yeah, Kaz would come down and be like, oh, I guess you guys come back down. And then probably head up to their own room.
Okay. Exit Kazan. Let's Alaska, anything else for you before turning in?
Nope, I would have just been sleeping.
Okay.
Probably give Odysseus one more, like, don't get too, what did I call it, the sinky thinky? Like, don't get too up in the weeds with your books, and then just fucked off to bed.
That's funny.
So good.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we'll cut at least for a little bit over to Odysseus, the last person awake, doing a little research before doing your own long rest. Is there anything in particular you're looking for?
I think she's obviously everything is like interplanar, which is not like her speciality. So I think it's either like Vecna specific or interplanar info specific.
Let's elaborate a little. Interplanar, are we talking like just general knowledge of the planes or anything specific?
Well, it's kind of like we freed the Twink and were transported to a different plane.
Uh-huh.
Obviously, Vecna is doing something amongst the planes because we saw him in this vision where he's like popping around all over the place in different places. Ooh, she also wants to figure out what that burning city was.
Well, I thought you knew what that burning city
The
was.
burning city, you
Did
know.
we know?
Yes.
Oh, okay, cool.
Odysseus
I don't think.
knows that city as Evernight.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, cool. Then I think she's just going to be like looking into like what is the deal with interplanar Vecna? What is the deal with all of this interplanar stuff? How, like, if we're going to keep getting hauled into different planes, how the hell do we get back?
Sure.
Right. Okay. Let's have you. How much time do you want to spend on this? And I hate when people do this, but I'm going to do it. I asked the question. I need to give you additional info that will be important for you answering the question. So we'll come back to that.
I think she only because I guess the question is, how long are we staying here?
So it sounds like you're at least going to have a long rest. and then you have the opportunity in the morning to like do more here if you want, but it sounds like everybody's kind of aiming at go back to Neverwinter.
Yeah, I would
She's
agree
gonna
with
drop 4 hours.
Okay, so 4 hours, you're going to run right up to the minimum amount of time you need to get that long rest, and then we're at the next morning?
Yep.
Perfect. I need you to roll a d4 twice.
It's r/roll.
Not r/, it's just /roll.
/roll, thank you.
Or there
think
is the
about
dice
Reddit.
symbol on your upper left that'll pull up like a menu that you can just click on a d4. That works. But it's just a straight up d4.
1, 2.
Okay. And now I need you to roll investigation twice.
Investigation. Where the hell is that? 16. 21.
Okay. And just to, I'm going to repeat this to make sure I'm understanding correctly what you're looking for. You're looking for basically info on if you keep getting shunted places, how do you make sure you can get back?
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm drawing a blank on the second thing you asked about.
Like, why is Vecna doing, like, what is Vecna's deal with interplanar stuff? Like, I know he
Got
was
it.
a guy and now he's a god, ? And like, it's like, what's, so it's not just the material plane that you're remaking, it's all of the planes? Why? What's, my man?
Got it. Okay.
These wizards gotta have books.
Okay, first topic, the whole getting yanked around into different planes of existence. You rolled first of all, you rolled a success on finding information on the topic, and second of all, you rolled a 16 on how much detail you get. So,
Okay, cool.
here's what we've got. Insert book titles here. I don't have that much detail, I apologize, but you find this, like, you're finding overall that this library, this collection is like probably the most broad spectrum of topics you could possibly find. Like, any library you've been in obviously has a lot of stuff in it, but this is like next level shit. Like, you would not find half of these books anywhere but in this one specific place. They are so rare and specific and packed with knowledge and information. Like, this is the fucking place.
Can Lunchbox give me advantage on my investigations, actually? Because he's made of ink.
This is find familiar, right?
Yep.
Yes. This is my baby. My baby Lunchbox.
If I'm going to do something with this, we need to put it somewhere like in the Discord to make it permanent so I'm not winging it every time. I would like to have you do a skill challenge to see if that works.
Okay. What does that mean?
So skill challenges it's usually a party-wide thing, but this is specific to you. And what I'm thinking here is basically like, let's semi-retcon like everything you've done up to level 10.
Okay.
To see if you like have the experience for this to work. This is me yes-anding as much as I can.
I'm very excited. This is cool.
So skill challenge. Let's have you make your spellcasting stat is intelligence, right?
I believe my spellcasting...
It could be wisdom if you're cleric.
It's wisdom, yeah.
Wisdom, okay. So I'm going to have you make a series of... 5 wisdom checks. A nat 1 counts as a double fail. A nat 20 counts as a double success. Best of 5.
So not saving throws, checks.
And this is basically to sort of blanket exposition working with, what's its name again? Lunchbox. And like just Lunchbox being around and maybe even trying to help you with research in your past and stuff like that because of your history, your backstory. Let's do 5 wisdom checks. If you get at least 3 successes, then the answer to your question is yes.
Cool. 1, 13. 2. It's an 8. I think.
Are we getting like a verbal DC for this, or is this also secret DC?
15.
I didn't want to say the DC because if you want to add anything to those for any reason, you can't know the result first.
Sure.
I don't, and an 18. So I got a 13, 15, 14, and 18. And
Okay.
I don't know if I have an ability to add anything to this.
Would you
And an
have any
8.
remaining like bardic inspirations?
Or guidance.
Guidances? I don't know, so I'd have to
I don't
trust.
think I can guidance myself, can I?
If
think
you
you
have
can.
the spell guidance, you can.
Wait, for real?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hold up. Oh, good. I
'Cause
do
it's
have
cool like
guidance.
that.
Okay. You are welcome to
Okay.
guidance yourself and update any of those rolls accordingly.
I can roll 1d4.
And of course, as long as you have the spell slots, which I believe you do.
It's a
Guidance is
cantrip.
a cantrip.
Oh, it's a cantrip. Nice. Okay.
C
There
is
you
for
go.
cantrip. I guess I'll add a 2 to the 13 to make it a 15.
Okay.
Or you said, wait, it was out of
Best of 5.
best of 5.
So you want 3. You need 3
So
successes.
you would now have a 15, 18, 15, 14. Sorry, 15, 8, 15, 14, 18.
I think I'll actually add the 2 to the 14, so I'll have a 15. I'll have a 13, an 8, a 15, a 16, and an 18.
That's what I would do.
Yep.
Okay. I made this difficult,
Yes.
which is categorically a 15.
Nice.
You have 3 out of 5. So,
Okay, cool. Thank you.
this was wisdom checks.
Yes.
Please remind me in a DM because I will forget.
Yes.
I need to add a feat to your character that you have advantage on wisdom checks as long as Lunchbox is active,
Cool.
which you've clearly stated for this it is.
He is the cutest little blob. He is a flubber, and I love him.
Yeah.
Sure.
So he
And
gives.
over the table for the party, stuff like this, like, can I do this thing? Let's make it happen. Ask the question, and we will do stuff like that to see what we can do to make it happen.
Cool.
Okay, so advantage on the investigation checks.
Okay, but investigation is an intelligence check, and I just realized that. So
Ah,
how
shit.
does that work?
Let's just switch it. We'll make it.
Okay.
Actually, let's make it specific. You're going to have advantage on investigation checks for research. So
Okay.
not even all
Fair.
investigation checks, but investigation checks for research.
Okay. Cool.
So we'll
Thank you.
modify that for int. So you can
Okay.
re-roll those. You're starting at a 16 and a 21.
Okay. All right. I'm just gonna roll. So for the 6, I rolled a 16.
Hmm.
And the other one is a 19,
Okay, so
And
you now
then
have
the
a 19.
and then the other one was a 21, and the advantage roll is okay. So a 19 and a 21.
Okay, excellent. This is
Thank
how my
you.
brain works. I've already forgotten. It was a success, and now a 19 for investigating the
How do we
interplanar
not be
stuff.
stuck in
Yes.
planes? Yeah.
So overall content that you find is that traveling between planes of existence has its limitations. There are several ways to make it happen. Pretty much all of them are very intentional and require very specific, very powerful magic. We're talking
Mhm.
physical gates that are like portals that persist, and they have to be created. You have to walk through them, and they take you to the place that they connect to. They work both ways in almost all cases. That is something you've not yet experienced.
Okay.
Method number 2 is essentially like it's like teleportation circles, but teleportation circles are tied to two different physical locations almost always on the same plane. You have to have a very specific sort of teleportation circle that it acts similarly to a gate, but still requires a spell to be cast to activate it. Then we get into what actually happened to you. It's not either of those things. You're going to get essentially confirmation that whatever's happened to you is breaking the rules of nature, is breaking the rules of the weave. You basically find confirmation that these wizards casting one of, if not the most powerful spell in existence, and somehow getting it wrong is something that there is something about the connection you have to Vecna, which you know about, and the wish was specifically about Vecna, but they messed it up in such a way that it did something to you and your party instead. In this case, physically brought you here while you were in the act of traveling between planes.
Okay.
And insofar as you can tell from your research, which you are confident about, all of it was truly an accident.
Okay. And it wouldn't have happened if we hadn't tried to interplanar travel.
Yes.
Got it.
Okay. On to number 2. What's Vecna's deal?
What's your damage, Heather?
Yeah, what's your malfunction?
Truly.
You also rolled a success on that. You rolled a 21 for the details about it. I am going to, in between now and our next session, give you more info because it is going to be more than I can say here and now.
Totally fair. Thank you.
The gist of it, for the sake of this is a show and not just a home game where I can just take everything into DMs, you get the 9s about at least what we know about Vecna. The other side of the coin is there's so much that we don't know about Vecna, and you know that. But what we do know about Vecna is that he started as a mortal being. He became a very powerful wizard. He eventually ended up in this insatiable dive into I want to live forever. Lichdom became a thing. He has literally killed minor gods, but gods, and became ascended into actual godhood himself. He is the god of secrets and knowledge.
Okay.
He is, for all intents and purposes, evil. And if we put him on the chart, he is I gotta get the chart.
Chaotic?
I think it's chaotic evil, but I wanna make sure.
Chaotic evil at bottom right.
Chaotic evil. Okay.
Oh my god, we're so similar.
And
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
in the most potent sense possible, serves his own purposes and design, as is evidenced by what the wizards have told you about what he's doing right now. He fully actually wants to remake reality where he is king of the coop.
Okay. Okay, I have one final question then, which is Odysseus Shadarkai. Her family worships the Raven Queen, who is a goddess of sort of mysteries and fate and death.
Yes.
What can within the research of Vecna and his whole fucking deal and the fact that we went to Shadowfell and this interplanar stuff, is there any connection there that she is finding between the two of them?
In a way, yes. Let me power read one thing real quick.
Power word read.
Yeah. Okay.
because she sends her people to collect memories
Yes.
and bring them to her.
She is a think the difference between chaotic evil and lawful neutral.
Interesting.
Like the dichotomy of evil versus good can be a very subjective thing. So there's a whole philosophical conversation that we could have right now. We don't have time for. That like Odysseia, take that how she will. Like there's the conversation of good versus evil versus even neutral, let alone good, as far as alignments go. And then there's like the chaos versus law. And I think, at least the way I'm thinking about it right now, the whole chaos versus law thing is even more important than the evil versus neutral. The Raven Queen is also one of seeking and obtaining knowledge. There is you're going to focus a lot on everything and everyone has a place. We do have good and evil.
Right.
That literally cannot change. But there has to be balance in order for life to persist. The difference between law and chaos is that statement. Everything and everyone has a place. That would be the law side of things. You serve your purpose, you follow law. If we just have chaos, that is everyone for themselves, like do what you will, and there is no structure, there's no order. That could be a good thing, that could be a bad thing. It depends on how you look at it and how you make it happen. And then you think of Kazan for a second.
I sneezed.
Right? So this is
Get my name out of your mouth.
this 2 hours of your research is like just as much knowledge acquisition as it is like existential what the fuck.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to put that into words. I'm just going to stop there now so I don't ramble.
Cool.
But is there anything specific you want to get at, given what I've said?
I think Odysseia has this deeply complicated emotions to do with the Raven Queen. She doesn't. I mean, her family left, but like, she doesn't want her to die. She doesn't like. Is there a threat with the way Vecna is? Like, not just in remaking the world, but like, would he's killed gods? Would he kill the Raven Queen because she has a slightly similar ways of, collecting memories and secrets?
With your 21, you would have a confident thought. I'm going to say understanding, not just thought. A confident understanding that Vecna would more than likely try to leverage the Raven Queen before just straight up killing her off.
Oh. Like, corrupt her beyond her insanity?
Like, get her to his side.
Okay.
Yeah. Because she has abilities that kind of overlap with his, but he's not like this blind, I'm going to kill everybody and make this all mine. He's not that naive. He is very, what is the word I'm looking for? Strategically and tactically. Could I use this person? No? Make them think they're doing good and work for me anyway, or just kill them off.
Okay.
And like that goes all the way up from mortals to gods. Can I use them, or can I use them intentionally? Can I use them passively, or do I need to get rid of them? He's got a whole MO.
Got it. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. This is intense. This whole session is so intense.
It's so good. I love
Wonder
it
whose fault
so
that
much.
is.
Yep. All right. So then Odysseia, are we going to trance rest?
Cry a little bit, trance.
Nice.
Okay.
Feels about right.
Put the books
Kazan-
back, cry a little bit, trance.
Kazan bossed Alaska. in your sleep, all three of you actively sleep, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Each of you, I'm saying this for all three of you, but each of you thinks this is just you, or all you see is just you.
Sure.
You have a dream. That, I mean, it's not uncommon for you to have like really intense dreams. Like sometimes you might jolt yourself awake, and
Sure.
sometimes you dream about things that are weighing on your mind, or traumatic experiences you've had in the past, or things that are going on in your day to day. This is kind of on that level, where it doesn't really seem all that unique from the intensity of it, but like there's a one-on-one thing going on between you and this unknown entity on the other side. Bost, in the case of having this like otherworldly satisfactory rest and just nothing else is going on. Alaska, in the case of you, it's along the lines of being hungry and being satisfied by new foods. It seems very surface level to you in this experience. It's
Sure.
more, you're getting this sense of like, it's not just food. You get into this like really intense deep dive into it's about nourishment. It's about becoming more powerful with what I eat. It's when I try
Sure.
new things, I expand my palate, and that's not just tasting new things. It's I become better because of trying new things. And then you get this sense of hunger again. And Kazan, you get this sense again of I'm very important. This is about me. Like, yes, the other people in my party are important, but I'm the key. And at the end of this sort of dream, you all get this sense of I need this, and it speaks to you.
You do not yet know me, but I know you. The struggle between good and evil is becoming immaterial to you. You must embrace me. Take me in as part of you, and part of your friends. Together we shall become the perfect enemy against undeath.
Each of you make a Constitution saving throw, please. Oh!
Fuck yeah. Hell yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
beautiful, beautiful.
Thank God.
13 because of my aura.
Nice. Okay. Bost and Kazan. At first, this feels bad. Like somebody or something is kind of imposing their will on you, and that just innately feels bad. But you kind of get this reverse affirmation that whatever this is most likely actually helpful toward you. Some kind of entity of death is reaching out toward you guys. And just like I was describing with Vic earlier, the struggle of law versus chaos comes to mind with this. And insofar as this conflict with Vecna and what he's got going on, Vecna is the epitome of undeath, which is also the basis of everything he's doing. This invitation is actually good. And it can be easily misperceived. But it will help you.
Absolutely not.
Alaska, you're flailing.
You're
You're like, no, I don't want it. I don't
no,
want it.
No. No. no.
It feels bad. It feels bad
Yep.
to Alaska.
Yep. I figured.
And now it has like a hold of you, and however you want to role play this is this feels bad to Alaska.
Sure. Am I still in the dream?
This is yes.
Do I have my stuff?
Oh.
Ooh.
This is just basically your consciousness. It's not like
Sure.
you and another person standing next to each other. It's just like your consciousness and another consciousness happening.
Well, I'm still thinking it's a consciousness. I am Alaska. Divine sense. I want to know what this thing is. I'm asleep. I have one more for the day, but if it's sleepy time, like who fucking gives a shit? I'll bounce it as many times.
We're
as I
in
need to.
dream world right now. Let's make it happen.
Yeah.
Divine sense.
Divine sense is tells me if it's celestial, fiend, or undead, or if it's affected by the hallow spell. So basically, I'm trying to glean what the thing is, other than just feels bad doing a bad.
Oh, not that. I clicked on the wrong thing. This is me 1000% thinking on my feet.
Sure.
It is fiend.
Cool. It feels like it's in my consciousness. I'm going to try and grab it in my consciousness and cast Divine Smite on it.
Ooh.
I'm gonna blitz it out of my body.
Okay.
I guess I would attack it, whatever it is.
Unarmed strike with
Right.
divine smite.
What's a natural 20?
Girl, what the
So
Damn.
it says 8 bludgeoning. Is that? Let me make sure that would be doubled because unarmed I do 8 bludgeoning, so that's 16 bludgeoning. And if I'm going to
Okay.
divine smite it and I'm that scared of it, let's do this fucking math. Features traits, boo 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 boo. If it's
This
sleepy
is
time,
so fucking juicy. I love it.
if it's sleepy
Same.
time, and I think I have all of my powers, I would divine smite it at a 3rd level, which would mean higher than first. Hold on, go back, go away.
5d8, I believe.
For each spell up, 5d8, and then an additional d8 if it's undead or a fiend, which you did just say it was a fiend.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be 68 doubled to 88, which is 64 radiant damage. So 64 radiant damage plus 16 bludgeoning damage. That's
Oh, this got
80
interesting.
damage. I just did 80 damage on this
no.
thing
Okay.
because of fear and because I'm right.
Oh, what is your passive perception?
Haha, 9.
oh no.
Okay.
I am fucking vibes, baby.
All right. You attack this thing in your dream
Yeah, I do.
and you hit it hard.
Yeah, I do.
When you feel that your consciousness strikes this other consciousness, you're going to see like a puncture wound in this void that is in front of you.
Mhm.
And it like, this is extremely abstract. You kind of like get a sort of feeling like you stabbed someone in the jugular, like lethal
Right.
blow, no matter fucking what. You know it. When that happens, a burst of white light spews out, and you have this moment of realization. I can now choose. This is only because you critted, by the way.
Sure.
I can now choose to either banish whatever this is completely from me for good, or use it and control it to my advantage.
Oh, so here's the problem. I feel like, oh God.
There's one thing additional I want to say, and I need to find the words.
Okay, good. Because see if that makes her change her mind. But controlling something to her is a corruption, which I don't think she would be comfortable doing. So I think she would push it away for good.
Okay. This is not meant to sway you in any way, but I think I figured
Sure,
out how
I
I
know.
want to describe it.
I know, because I too am like, what character would do with limited understanding versus what I understand would be really helpful for the rest of the campaign.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm also trying to do. And I'm like ready to shoot my fucking foot off for the rest of the campaign.
I'm going to call it lawful death.
Ooh, okay.
So it still feels on the chart evil. Lawful death.
If I got, oh. I would control it.
Ooh. Final answer?
That's so fucking hard. I'm doing a brief math of Vecna is undeath, and so lawful death would mean putting down Vecna. So for that reasoning, yes, I would control it.
Okay. We need to talk in between sessions.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
Don't sneak up on me while I'm sleeping, man.
Right. Everybody except Kazan, you get through to the next morning with a successful long rest. You can
Everyone's
do
like,
your things
Kazan,
for
what
that,
did you do?
including a level up.
Mm.
Logan and I need to have a little chat.
Oh no.
So I'm gonna experiment with this, with how I do this, guys. I know with my other campaigns, and even I will still do this with this one. I like to do everybody take your headphones off except this one person. But I think I like getting sometimes the over the table reactions about things that are happening. So I'm gonna say this. Over the table, you're gonna hear it and witness this happening. Do your best to honestly not include your over-the-table knowledge in your in-game experience and roleplay. Is that a fair request?
Yes.
Okay.
I also need to use the restroom, so I'm like, maybe I just take my headphones off and walk away.
I mean, you're welcome to. This is definitely a Kazan-specific thing.
We both know I'll probably
Memory
forget
is
about
so
it next week.
That's very true. Yes, but he's my buddy.
Yep. All right. Kazan. Even after the whole pride thing happens, you have further dreams, but you innately understand this is not a dream. And I think when Magic is talking to Nerdwardo, like dreams in D&D are like a whole lore thing, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
This is not a dream. This is a literal interaction that's happening with you right now. And I really hope this thing works. If it's terrible, tell me. But I like this filter.
I'm down for whatever. This is cool as fuck.
He who would tear down the institutions of his world. You have desire. Pray tell, why do you pursue the Whispered One?
It would be a disservice to everything I have fought for since my self-imposed exile to let another creature remake everything in their own name, as opposed to getting rid of a collection of societies that have built everything around one person or one group of people.
Does this not oppose the ideals of your very mother?
I didn't quite hear that out of game. I didn't quite hear what it was.
It said, "Does this not oppose the very ideals of your mother?"
That was the point of the exile. When you watched a couple and then tens and then hundreds of folk who simply are not lucky enough to continue living because the laws of whatever cities they may reside in consider their existence to be unfavorable, to say the least, then it puts a rather bitter taste in your mouth when you're supposed to be the one that's okay with that.
And what precisely would be the difference between those ideals and the designs you have in your own heart?
You know what designs I have in my heart?
You would tear down every institution you possibly could. Not even short of razing entire towns.
What else?
Your own designs. Am I wrong?
Creature, I am not a fool. I understand what strategies you are trying to employ. But know this. I am not unreasonable. But you don't need to offer me undescribable power or ways to achieve this goal to gain my alliance.
I ask for no alliance with you. I ask for your commitment to a common goal in good faith. In exchange for very, very much power. Seek out and destroy Vecna. And everything I can give you, I will.
And you vow that it will be my power, not yours, that you're lending.
The second my finger leaves the touch of your skin, the power is yours.
Consider him gone from existence.
Nice. You are going to feel, see. I forgot to describe this, but at the beginning of that conversation, you saw the same mass with the red eyes and the pearly white smile at the beginning.
Right.
And that's what you were conversing with. It's going to. You're going to feel as if it offered out a hand to you when making that deal. And sorry, I'm going to take a little bit of institution away, but you agreed to it, so I'm going to say you offered your hand out.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you have a favorable hand, right or left?
Oh. I feel like for the symmetry of the adventure, it's gotta be left.
Okay.
I feel like we've gotta be.
When you offer your hand out, you're gonna feel a matching left hand to like give you a very like imagined strongman handshake, not like the Predator like flex your muscles thing, but like an actual like forward to forward handshake. And when the moment you get to like I agree, the fingers that touch here dig in a little bit. And at the same time, you're going to feel a reach around to about here at these 2 points as well. It's as if 4 teeth dig into your skin. 2 right here, and 2 right here. Like a bite. And we now level up. Well rested the next morning. Logan, you're doing the thing we talked about.
Yep.
And that's where we're going to end today.
Hell yes. This is so cool.
I'm gonna have to kill you, man.
Boy.
I don't know what just happened, but it seems wild.
It
I
is.
love it. I love the bass playing in the background ever so slightly.
Yes. All right. Any last minute questions before we just get out of here today, guys?
What is your fucking problem?
Actually, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm out of whiskey. That's my problem.
Mm.
That's what it is.
Whoo boy.
You have so much whiskey in that house. You're fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Guys, I was the one who asked for this thing to happen, so this is not juice. This is fully me.
I know, and I'm like, ugh.
I would
Oh
love
my
to
God.
have this explained.
Yeah.
What is
Okay.
going on?
We can talk a little bit after we close out,
Yes.
but for now, that's the end of today. Hey, we have All Hail the Queen is back on Thursday at 8:30
Thursday?
Eastern on this channel with a whole other group of people who are poised and ready to be back at the action. That is the Tyranny of Dragons campaign. That is at level 17 right now.
Gross.
It's
So
intense.
high.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll be back here with this group in 2 weeks.
Hell yeah.
Yes, we should be back in 2 weeks. We might have a time shift because I'm moving starting on that day. But we will be on that day, and I think we should have everybody, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should be good.
All right. We'll see you then. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye,
Goodbye, everybody.
Everybody.